Hello, my convicts and convict heads, just to design the Cup Convict, bringing you guys and gals another video. So today I'm using my little lavalier microphone, as you can see here. But I wanted to kind of do a quick little chit chat with you. There's the computer corner, that's where I sit every time I'm doing games, when I'm just gaming and just in general. Anyway, today I want to do a quick video just to reiterate for some people, as there'll be some people out there that don't or are not aware of this, and just to let you know, unfortunately today we did have a live stream. We did do the live stream, but we ended up cutting a bit shorter than normal. This was due to Rio on two occasions. One, obviously I had to take him for appointment at 4 o'clock to the dentist because he's due to go, he needs to be under a general anesthetic at some point because they've got to remove some of his teeth, his baby teeth, because he's had some problems. Now, one of the big issues Rio has is he doesn't drink milk and he refuses milk at any point. And the problem with this, obviously, milk helps to strengthen bones and teeth. So we've had a problem with that, and obviously trying to get him to drink milk has been absolutely horrendous. So I always use enamel toothpaste and make sure I do his teeth as much as possible, even though Rio will agree and disagree on many occasions. 2 moments while I answer the phone. Right, sorry about that. I was just answering the phone. It was Catherine asking about Rio. So yeah, so we've got the dentist to do and stuff like that. Now the other thing, if you've not been reading the community's post and not been keeping up to date, is Rio has had an accident and he's hurt his face. I don't know what he had done on it, but that's what caused me to having to leave early, because I physically had to go get him from school because he was obviously very upset, and I had to quickly go down there, go pick him up from school to bring him home before I went to dentist. He's gone home with such a horrible, like, mess of a nose, absolutely an absolute complete mess of his face, and a little bit of his forehead. So it's all down the nose here, on the underneath here, and on his forehead, and it's an absolute mess. We did ask him what the problem was, and they told me that he'd apparently fallen outside, even though it kind of doesn't make sense. So it's something that we need to kind of look into a little bit further, because McDonald's, get out of the way. Because when I took him today, especially to the dentist and the nurse saw him, they're assuming it's more that it was a friction, it's like a carpet burn. It looks like a carpet burn that he's got on his face. And the school suggested he'd fallen outside and landed on his face, but it doesn't add up. So it is something that we need to kind of look into and investigate. So I'll let you know if we get any other findings from that. It kind of worries me a little bit though, because if they're prepared to not tell the truth at school, that puts me on edge, because the reason why I do what I do, and the reason why I look after Rio 24/7, well, I'm his full-time carer, is purely because I do not trust somebody else to watch him, to care for him, and obviously be all right and understand him and everything because of his autism and the way that he is. It's very, very difficult for someone to be able to cope with him if you don't really know him. And obviously for the first few days or first couple of weeks, he's going to be really weird about it because he's not used to engaging with people unless that person comes here and sort of sits here and he becomes familiar with them, and then they start taking him. It's a very long process, and it worries me. Even going to school, it worries me because I'm sending him, he's non-verbal. For anyone who doesn't know, he's 7 years old, he's non-verbal, he doesn't talk, and there's a little that he can do about it, and when something happens, then we don't know. Now, he's had an instance before at school which kind of worried me a little bit, and that's when he got bit on his knee. Another little boy had got upset at school because we're all autistic or at varying levels of autism. This boy bit Rio on the knee and caused really bad teeth marks into his knee. And obviously I was like, what? It's like, how's this happen? But it's just unfortunate that Rio was close to this person at the time that it happened, and then he's just gone and bit him on the knee. But this one's been kind of weird because The problem, I don't understand the logic in my brain is, if he'd fallen outside, he would have had scuffed knees, he would have had mud on his knees, he would have had dirty hands, or maybe even grazes on his palms and stuff from, you know, putting your hands down to stop yourself. I'm sure he wouldn't have just gone, no, you know, and not put his hands in the way. It just doesn't add up. But when I took him to the nurse had suggested he'd got friction burns down his nose. It's all friction burn. So he's got a friction burn down his nose and under the lip and a little bit on the back of his hand. But yet the school have suggested that he's fallen outside. So these are the kind of things that worry me. This is what makes me want to do what I do. And this is why sometimes me and Catherine argue so much. And it drives me crazy because she's like, you should be back to work. You should be going back to work. I should work and then have someone look after Rio. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that because number one, I don't know what they're doing to him. Number two, he can't talk to us. He can't tell us what the problem is, if there is a problem. I'm not having someone abuse our son and he can't physically turn to me and say, Dad, so-and-so smacked me around the head today and I fell off the sofa, or I really needed the toilet and then I'm to pee myself because they wouldn't take me to the toilet. You know, there's so many varying factors, and I get it. There are some people out there or some places that are good, that will, you know, do a good job and make sure they're safe and stuff. But it's a risk, and it's kind of crazy because when you hear about these stories about obviously teachers in school abusing students and stuff and things like that, and these people are vetted, you know, for these kind of things. You know, have they done anything in their past that has been questionable, that obviously they can't become a teacher and stuff, and so on and so forth. And you get all these sort of things, and some people getting through, and then obviously people discovering later, oh, so and so has happened. It's a scary time. It bugs me so much, and then when I've got someone telling me I should be going back to work and this and that and the other, it drives me crazy because it's like, I'm doing this for a reason. You know, I'm doing this for a reason. I am here for a reason. I do what I do for a reason. That is why I'm doing it. It's not the case if I don't want to work. You know, I've worked most of the time I've been alive, apart from quite a few instances where I've had issues with the other kids and I've been under a lot of emotional stress and I wouldn't say physical depression, but I have suffered with that kind of thing for a long time, and trying to work and your mind's just elsewhere, it just doesn't add up. And you know, there's been a lot of times where I've been in and out of work, or I've not worked for a long time, and then obviously with Rio coming round, I've not worked for since he was born, so about seven plus years. But it's been the case of I've tried to do the best I could, you know, and in terms of like the reasoning before, obviously when I was not at work as much, is because I've got 3 other children. You know, I've got 3 other children in a relationship with an ex-partner who I've been with for 8-10 plus years as well, and I ended up leaving that said person and obviously moved out, hoping to still be a full-time dad to the children, but just not be in a relationship and just be separated, because obviously trying to live with someone who you're not with is a very difficult thing. And I'm finding that out right now with Catherine, because obviously we gave up on our relationship and I just stay here to support Rio and do, you know, good things for him. And then hopefully in the future, like I said, move out, get a place of my own, you know, continue to look after Rio as I normally do, and so on and so forth. But it's obviously it's a very complex thing, in which obviously none of us are prepared to obviously let go of Rio, and she's going to want to keep him, I'm going to want to keep him, so on and so forth. It's a lot of, you know, a lot of issues. This is why I always ask, you know, if there's any help and support you can give in terms of being there, being supportive, being part of the channel, watching videos and stuff and things like that. You know, it really does help me, because it helps me to be able to financially look after myself a little bit more, a little bit better. Hopefully get into a full-time career of doing something I really enjoy doing, which is making videos and recording, playing games and stuff like that, and progressing on to hopefully being able to get my own house or even buy my own house or something of that nature. Anything, to be honest, that could help to support. You know, that's the be all and end all. I just wish I was lucky as some and got that lucky break, but here we are since 2013, still climbing, but it's just taking a lot longer than, you know, than some, and they've been very, very lucky to get where they are, to have what they have, and, you know, hopefully one day I will also have that. Hopefully it's not too many years in the future, because I ain't getting any younger. I ain't getting any younger. But yeah, so I have blabbed on a little bit, but I just kind of give you a little bit of a heads up. Tomorrow we won't be live streaming again. I'm going to take the day off because Rio's not going back to school tomorrow. I'm going to keep him off. I'm going to give chance for his nose to at least heal and for that to be a lot better. And then we'll discuss a bit more with the school to find out what the actual proper reasoning is for the friction burn he's got on his face, and then, you know, go from there to what we're going to do next, because for, you know, and I don't want to, you know, throw just shade out to people or to companies and schools and stuff and things like that, because maybe that did happen, but it just seems very unlikely from all the clues of what's happened. It's just been a slight little burn on the back of his hand to complete burn down his face and under the nose here, on his forehead, and yeah, he's got no mud on him whatsoever, and he was playing in a muddy area apparently, so your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, so I will apologize. Tomorrow won't be a live stream, but, you know, it is what it is. And I keep doing what I do. And I'd rather be real safe and give him opportunity for everything to heal and to get better. And then obviously we'll go on from there, and see what we can do. But yes, please, if you can help support me, if you can join into the live streams or watch these videos, watch my content, you know, help to grow the channel. If you've got any friends or anyone who's into people who plays variety games, come along, say hey. And let's make this community a really, really good one. Anyway, it is that Convict signing out. As always, I salute you, my convicts and convicts, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now.